few days ago, I was looking for my pen that I normally journal with because I have a special pen that I journal with. And I remember I started stressing about finding this pen because this is the pen that I always write with. And I remember I looked everywhere. I searched the desk that I was sitting at, and I wasn't home, so I knew it was kind of in my vicinity. And I could not find a pen. I could not find a pen. And it's like in the back of my mind, I'm still searching for this pen. And my mind just said to me, it's fine, just use another pen. And me being stubborn, I was like, I don't really want to use another pen because this is a pen that I like writing with, and I write for a very long time with this pen because it has this, this rubber thing on it where it's just like, yeah, I love this pen. I love this pen where it helps me write longer. So when I journal, I use it. But I couldn't find a pen. So I was like, all right, fine. I grabbed another pen and I journaled, and that made me think about all the things that I stressed about, that there was another route to do it, but because I wanted that specific route, I was being stubborn, And the best part is that I found the pen. A few days later, I found the pen somewhere that I actually looked, and it just wasn't showing up at that moment. And I'm like, that situation made me stress so much because I'm a particular way and I like doing things a certain way. And it's just like, why am I stressing? I eventually found the pen and everything actually worked out. I used another pen and wrote in my journal. So why am I stressing? And that's kind of the gist of everything that we stress about in life. Most of the things that we're stressing about is like, can you change it? The answer is no. Can you do something about it? Not really. So why are you stressing? Just leave it, let it be, walk away and go do something else. Because if you've pushed to the point where there's nothing else you can do to possibly push forward, you've came to a standstill. The brick wall is there. There's nothing you can think of that can possibly get you over that wall, and there's no way to use like a bulldozer and just like go through the wall. You can't do anything. What do you do in that moment? Stop stressing. One, whatever you need to get over that wall or through that wall is not ready for you yet, obviously. So you not being able to figure it out is you not being ready for the answer. So it's like you're stressing and trying to figure out everything all at once, and it's just like, no. Life don't really go that way. You kind of have to be ready in your heart. And I know what you're saying. You're like, oh, well, but I am ready. Maybe you're not. Obviously, it's like the universe is saying that you're not ready. And it's like all of these things that you're stressing about, if you really evaluate all of them, half of them don't make any sense. It's like, all right, take a scenario. New York, right? You're running for the train and the train is never on time. It's never on time. So you leave half an hour early just to be on time finally. Yeah. You get to the train station, the train decides to come early. So as soon as you get to the train, you see the train leaving. Now, you could either get mad that the train that is never on time actually came early and left, or you could be like, well, at least I'm early. I can still make it on time. But normally what you choose is you get angry instantly, where it's just like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. And it's just like, why are you working up yourself like that? Like, you're the one feeling all of those emotions, the train conductor don't care. He's off about his day. Everybody else who's on that train, they're probably like, oh yeah, good thing I came out earlier. I get to catch the train, and you're pissed because you came out early and you missed the early train. So it's like that feeling that you're feeling where you're angry at the train and the system and that person, the conductor and everything. It's like you're only mad at yourself. You're feeling that within yourself because those people are already gone. They don't care. They're gone about their merry way. While you're there just fuming in all of your anger and everything, and then somebody who's trying to be nice to you, like, what you looking at? It's like, hi, good morning. I hope you have a great day. You know, it's like somebody can't even approach you and say that because you're stuck on this thing that happened where it's like, dude, you control your emotion. If you don't allow that whole system to get to you, there's no way that it can get to you. So ultimately, it means if you don't allow that to stress you, you can't be stressed. And it's like, okay, yes, there are certain things that it's okay to stress a little about. You know, a little bit of stress is healthy. It is, because it means that you're functioning human. You know, there's a little bit of stress. You get a little bit stressed when you need to eat. Especially me, I turn into like, yeah. All right, you ever seen those Snicker commercials where it's like that person is like, one person is really hungry and they turn into like a whole monster until they eat? Yeah, I'm that person. So that little stress that I get when I'm hungry and everything, that little stress is okay, because it's like my body is like, hey, you need to go eat or else we can't push further than what you need us to do. That's okay. A little stress is okay. What's not okay is when we're on stress 100% of the time, which is normally everyone's daily life. And it's like, you do not function properly when you are that stressed. You don't think properly. You do not respond to things properly because you're not in a calm frame of mind where it's like, hey, I can analyze what you're saying to me and make an informed decision, not based on stress. You can't do that because your brain is just stressed out. So any decision that you make and everything, it's gonna be like, wait, why did I make that decision? That didn't make any sense. And then you're trying to backtrack in order to fix that, and sometimes you can't fix it. I just pulled the card from this deck, The Universe Has Your Back. And if this is not divine communication, I don't know what it is. But the card literally says, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Like, wow. I actually think it's possible to stop stressing, because when you realize that most of the things that you're stressing about, you can't really change them, or whatever you do, it won't make it go any faster or make it any better, you're gonna be like, it's fine, I'll just let it be. And when you realize you start doing that, things start happening and you're just like, wait. So there's one thing that I was stressing about, it doesn't matter anymore because I stopped stressing. I'm like, whatever, it'll work out. And then it actually works out because you stop thinking about it. And it's that control. It's that control that you want over a situation where you're just like, you know, I want this to happen a certain way. And if it's not happening this way, I am going to manhandle it and strangle it and do everything that I can violently do to make this work my way. And then when it doesn't work your way, you put more energy into curving it to go your way. And you're just like, I don't understand how this is not working. When all you need to do is just let it go. Let it go. It always work out in the end. It literally always work out in the end. I remember I was going through I was going through some stuff, and I could not see, I couldn't see how it would end. I really couldn't visualize how it would end. I couldn't see if it was a good ending, or I couldn't see if it was a bad ending. It was just long and drawn out, and every step of the way just added more stress and more stress and more stress. And at one point, I'm just like, no, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I am not going to allow this to stress me out, because when I'm here all worried and frazzled and just like can't sleep at night and twisting and turning and just restless all day, is that other person in the situation doing that? Probably not. They've gone on with their lives and they're doing what they want to do. And I feel like it's my decision to stay in that energy where I feel frazzled and I'm stressing about how things are actually going to turn out, if they're going to turn out good or if they're going to turn out bad. And at one point, I'm just like, you know, my intention is for this to turn out with everyone's best interest in heart. Literally, everyone's best interest in heart. Where it's like, it's not just me who's benefiting, it's the other person who benefits as well. And when I made that decision, that long drawn out thing that took a year or more, in less than 2 months, it was done. Like completely done. And I remember I just bawled my eyes out, even though I'm a big crybaby, so I'm always crying for everything. But it's like that cry just felt like such a relief, because the moment I finally released all the control that I thought I had of the situation and just allowed it to be what it's gonna turn out to be, and then when it did resolve itself, it's just like, so all this time I've been stressing about this and I didn't have to. I caused myself all of that torture, all of that torment, because I couldn't just let it be. What am I doing to myself? And I feel like that's what we have to think about when it comes to stressing about life and everything. It's like, we're not benefiting from stress. Again, the little parts of stress where it's like, hey, go eat, hey, go drink your water, hey, go work out so you can be fit, so you can one day have kids and run around with them without getting tired, you know? It's like those little things where it's like, okay, that's healthy stress. The other things where it's just like, oh, you're stressed about work, can you leave? I'm sure you can quit. Find somewhere else that will probably appreciate you, right? You stressed about a relationship? Is it possible to talk to that person and see where their mind is in the relationship and where they see the future going? Instead of stressing about, oh, I wonder if this person thinks of this and thinks of that. Have a conversation with them. It's literally talk to them. That can eliminate so many stress. I've had to learn that because, one, I don't like talking. I mean, I know I sit here and talk to you every single day now. 14 days, guys. Oh my God. But I know I sit and talk to you every day, right? But when it comes to me opening up about certain things, I don't do that very well. I don't like expressing certain things. I feel like, one, I'm strong enough to figure it out on my own, which is like, yes, I get it, I am. But at the same time, even the strong ones need help, right? The strong ones are the one you should look out for. And I feel like I take on that responsibility of just like, I'm going to look out for me and I'm going to take care of everything. And it's just like, no, that's me controlling the situation again. That's me, yes, look out for myself and everything. Number one first, yes. But at the same time, it's like, I don't have to do it in a way where other people feel like they're not appreciated, or it makes other people stressed. You know, my goal is to eliminate stress from everybody's life so they can actually live with ease, because life's supposed to be fun, not not filled with all sorts of craziness. But it's like we take on all the madness that we think we should take on in order to live the better life. So we believe that we have to work 1,000,000% more and do everything so hard and just like pound everything, pound the rocks into sand, basically, in order for something to work. And I'm over here like, I don't want to do that. I want to find the easiest way possible to do this, where I don't want to be violent, because I'm not a violent person. So I don't want to come out of character in order to achieve something, you know? I read Kevin's Hart book, It Will All Work Out, and it took me a few days to actually allow the message in the book to really sink in. And he goes through the motions of what makes him feel like everything won't work out. And what he broke it down to, I'm sorry if you actually want to read the book. It's a really good book. It's very short, and I kind of finished it in less than an hour. It's really, really short. But he goes through the reason why we feel like we have to stress about things. And it all boils down to control. We learn some control where it's like, one, we either have to defend ourselves in order for us to excel, because that's the type of situations that we dealt with in the past, and we're applying that lesson to our present self and our future self, where we're just like, hey, we have to fight for everything that we want, even when the situation doesn't call for us fighting. And then there's the other side of it, where it's like we allow people to basically push us over because we don't want to stir anything, because we learned again at a young age that whenever we stir the pots, it never turns out good for us. And that made me think of all the times when I was younger and living in Jamaica with my grandmother, that I would want to go out and enjoy myself as a teenager, you know? In Jamaica, they have this thing called champs. And it's basically each year, all the high schools do track and field, and they compete against each other. And when I say it's a big thing, it's a huge thing. It's like almost to the level of Olympics for high school students. Dare I say that level, but it's, you know, it's within Jamaica. And I remember one year I'm in high school, so it's like, this is the time that I'm supposed to go out and do these things, right? I'm in high school on the bus going home, and normally on the buses we make friends with people from other schools. We make friends with the bus driver, the conductor, everybody, you know, everybody talks. And the driver said to me, hey, you going champs this weekend? And I was like, yeah, that would be a no. And he's like, why not? I'm like, yeah, so the situation is my grandmother will say hell no, so I'm not even going to ask. And he was like, but that doesn't make any sense. She may say yes if you ask. So just to test this theory, even though I've tested it like 1,000,000 times before, I was like, hey, mama, can I go to champs this weekend? The no that came out so quickly was like, the way it hit me across the face, it's like I didn't even realize that it hit me. It was just like, yeah, okay, well, I knew that was coming, so I was kind of prepared for that. But it's like we learn, especially me, I learned not to ask for things or to ask for help or to ask for permission to do things because it would always be a no. And for me, that was a waste of time. And apparently, me learning that type of behavior applies to the situation that I'm dealing with in my present. Like certain situations, I will not speak up because I couldn't speak up then. So it made no sense because what I would be saying would not be taken seriously. And when it comes to speaking out and defending myself or anything, it's just like I make sure I'm never in those type of situations anyway, so I wouldn't need to do that. But thinking about it now, it's like, do I avoid those situations because I don't want to speak up and I don't want people to challenge me or anything? And I know how competitive I am. I can be challenged and challenge another person and just like go back and forth with them. But it's like that maybe a sense of control or dealing with that monster, as Kevin Hart put it, where we just suppress everything that we're thinking and just let people have their way. And it's like, that is a whole stressful thing in itself, where it's like, one, I'm either constantly fighting for myself, or two, I'm allowing people to take advantage and use me however they feel like using me. And it's like, in those situations, what do I have control over? I know, one, I have control over me allowing people to use my energy and use it up and leave me feeling all drained. And two, I know that I can take myself away from all those situations that would put me in that position. So it's like, do I stress that somebody else is taking advantage of me, or do I just walk away? And most people would stress while trying to walk away. And I've learned that I'm not gonna make you stress me. I'm just gonna leave. And if you have an issue with that, that is your problem, not mine. And I feel like that is one of the techniques that I've learned, where I'm just like, if I can choose to not stress about losing a pen, losing something very valuable, where I know it's in the house, but I just can't find it, or basically enjoying myself, I'm gonna choose to enjoy myself. I'm not going to stress. And I know that a lot of people would see this as, it being, I'm carefree and I don't really think about anything when it comes to, I don't think about things like as harshly and as definitive as I should. But it's like, no, I've already evaluated in my head that if I go down this road, that's only going to cause me more stress, and I'm not going to have the answers that I do need. And then if I choose to go down that road, then that's going to bring more problems or anything. And it's just like, okay, if I stand still, I will know exactly what to do. And then when I stand still for a while, I realize that there's a road behind me that I can just turn around and walk away. And that's one of the issues that I realized that we all have. We're not patient enough to wait for answers to reveal themselves. We go through so many different scenarios and so many different things that we try to force things to work, and it's just like, it's not working. It's not working. It never worked. And everything you're trying is just not working. And what do? Try to beat yourself up to try something else, when it's just like, hey, shut up, sit down, go relax for a bit. And when you do that, you get an idea and you're like, where was this idea? I was like, now that you're not in that stressful frame of mind, your brain can actually decipher whatever it is that you're trying to figure out and present you answers. So it's like the most effective way to deal with stressing and trying to help yourself from stop stressing is to learn how to be patient. Patience, as they say, is a virtue because it takes a lot of patience to get through life and not lose all your hair in the process, because certain times dealing with certain people, they're very stressful. And when you do like I love doing and just like take apart a situation from just like rip it apart so much that I can just go in and take one little strand of words and just like, what did you mean by that? This is connected to this, which is connected to that, which has nothing to do with me, but it's something that happened to you 2 months ago that is still bothering you now. And because you haven't dealt with that, your anger towards that and you not being able to figure it out is actually twisting your energy that you're giving to me. And because of that, you're giving me an attitude for something that you didn't resolve in the past. And then I'm getting heated because I don't understand why you're giving me this attitude. And it's just like this cycle just continues. And I'm just like, wait, hold up. What is wrong with you? Let's get through that part first. Let's speak about that part. What is wrong with you? What is bothering you? Can you fix that thing? Or can you just let it go? So if you can fix it, fix it. If you can't do anything about it, let it go. It makes no sense for you to hold on to it and think about how you tried 10 million different things and it didn't work. Like, what they say, Thomas Edison tried 10,000 bulbs before one of them actually created light. Sometimes things take time. We won't get it on the first try sometimes. Some people do. But then that creates a false sense of like, hey, if that person can do it, then, I mean, I'm supposed to do it. But it's like, yeah, but that person is in a different situation than you are. That person might have their things where they have their advantages. Like they may have more money than you. They may live in a better situation than you. They may have mentors that you don't. They may have tried it 10 million times before in a different way. And then when they decided to try it that way that worked for them, it clicked on the first try. You don't know what happens when other people are experiencing success and you feel like you're not moving forward. Don't stress about that. That is their life. You relax. Take everything as it comes. If you can't change it, let it go. And if you can change it, then do something about it. That is literally the only way that we can stop stressing so much, because stress is wearing down our bodies. Stress is making us look older than we actually are. And stress is making us sick. Let me clear this up before you get the wrong idea. When I say you should stop stressing, I don't mean that you should stop caring about the thing that's making you stressed, especially if it's like your family or your friends or just things that you truly care about. You stop stressing, and me telling you to not stress is not saying, hey, just don't care about these things ever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying release that control that you think you have about how you want these things to turn out and how these things should turn out. Because obviously, if they're not doing what you want them to do, that's not how it's supposed to work out. So you trying to force it to go in a certain direction is not working out. So me telling you stop stressing literally means release your grip. Release your grip on these things that you feel like you control. Because honestly, you only control what you bring to you. You only control your life, how you treat yourself, how you treat your body, how you treat people. You cannot change how somebody else do things. You will never change how somebody choose to do something. You will never, you can't even control your damn cat, okay? That cat is gonna walk around and do whatever it wants because you have no control over it. You may scold it and tell it, hey, don't do that, but then they're gonna look at you and be like, well, I want to do this, and there's no way you're gonna stop me from doing it because when you go to sleep, I'm going to do it anyways. So it's like, look at life as a box of chocolate, literally, where it's just like, today I got strawberry chocolate. All right, what are we gonna do with this? That might actually taste really horrible, but that's besides the point. But it's like, release your grip. It's not as complicated as you think it is, and you should not spend 100% of your time stressing. And it's like, as I'm telling you this, I remember this documentary that I was watching, and it was basically explaining how healthy stress is what triggers animals to run away when lions are around, right? So when they sense danger, that stress like hits them instantly, where they're like, oh, either I run or I get eaten. And we view this all the time. Either I run or I get eaten. Either I run or I get eaten. And it's just like, but there's another option for us. We're not animals running around, even though, yes, technically we are. We do have some sense, but the level of it, we are animals running around because half the time we don't know what the hell we're doing. But at the same time, we have a brain. So we can strategize how we want to move forward with certain things. And if we choose not to do that and then just go by our survival instincts and just run all over the place without thinking of what direction to run, guess what? You might just be running right into the lion's mouth without realizing what you're doing. So it's like, stop and think. You're not running away from a mammoth or a saber tooth. They're all extinct. What you're running away from is everyday life. And yes, everyday life is full of so many stressors and so many distractions and everything, but you control what you see. You're the one who control everything that happens in here, you know? I control this. And it's like, I don't watch the news for a reason because that stresses me out. And why would I give myself unnecessary stress to stress about? And it's like, you choose these things that you want to include in your life. And if that means you don't watch the news, then don't watch the news, because that's going to stress you more. And if that means don't hang out with that friend because they drink too much and then you're going to have to take care of them at the end of the night, then that's going to stress you out, because then you're going to be worried if they're getting home okay, or you might have to take them home. Then don't go out with that friend. And it's like, choose situations that make sense for you. If you're put into something where you have to think on the fly, trust me, your body will read, your body and your gut will tell you exactly what to do. But that is how we tend to view most things when it comes to life in general, where we feel like, oh, I have to make this decision right now because all these bills have to pay right now. And it's just like, does it really? You can't spend half an hour not thinking about anything and allowing your brain to just rest for a bit outside of sleep, because when you're sleeping, that's a different type of rest. But when you're just relaxing, you can't allow yourself half an hour to bring your stress levels down. You need to rethink life. You need to rethink life. And I know going about all of this and going about changing how you view situations and how you react, because that's the key. It's how you react to certain things. If you choose not to react and choose, hey, if this happens, you plan it out. If this happens, then this is the scenario that I'm gonna go. That's the route I'm gonna go. If that happens, then I'm gonna choose to go that route. Now you figure out every possible way that it could hit you. And then if a way comes where it's just like, I did not think about this, stop, take your time, and wait. An answer will reveal itself. It always does, because everything always works out in the end. Check your history if you don't believe me.